Welcome back to the Jurist Prudence channel. The first fun and fast platform where legal enthusiasts can access South African law content. We highly appreciate our returning and new subscribers. You make our world go round. If this is your first encounter and you love law, please subscribe. Doing so will help other law enthusiasts to find and learn from this channel. And since we are chasing 5K subscribers, subscribing and sharing will help us greatly in reaching this milestone. Today, we will be discussing the various pieces of legislation that govern cyber law in South Africa. The advent of the internet and the rapid growth of technology has given rise to a range of legal issues which require regulation. South Africa has implemented a range of legislation to govern various aspects of cyber law, including the Constitution, PAIA, ECT Act, RICA, ECA, ICASA, POPIA, Cybercrimes Act, and other related laws. As highlighted in our first episode, the Constitution is the Beyoncé of laws, the queen of them all. The Constitution of South Africa is the supreme law of the country and it provides a framework for all other laws in the country. It includes provisions on freedom of expression, access to information, and the right to privacy. These provisions are relevant to cyber law as they provide a basis for regulating online activity, protecting citizens' rights, and ensuring the responsible use of information. The Promotion of Access to Information Act 2 of 2000, or PAIA in short, is a key piece of legislation in the scope of cyber law. It gives effect to the right to access information in the Constitution and provides a framework for requesting information from public and private bodies. PAIA is particularly relevant in the context of cyber law as it enables individuals to access information that is stored or transmitted electronically. Just be careful what you request, you might end up getting the recipe for your mother-in-law's homemade traditional beer. Then, there's the Electronic Communications and Transactions Act 25 of 2002, or ECT Act in short. It is another important piece of legislation that regulates electronic transactions, electronic signatures, and electronic communication. The ECT Act establishes legal recognition for electronic transactions and signatures, which is essential in a digital world. The Act also provides for the regulation of unsolicited electronic communications, or spam, and sets out provisions for the protection of personal information. The Regulation of Interception of Communications and Provision of Communication-Related Information Act 70 of 2002, or RICA, is a law that regulates the interception of communications and the provision of communication-related information in South Africa. RICA requires telecommunication service providers to intercept and provide communication-related information to law enforcement under certain circumstances. This legislation is important in cyber law as it sets out the rules for law enforcement agencies to access electronic communications data. So, if you're thinking of plotting a heist over WhatsApp, better think twice, because law enforcement agencies might be listening in. The Electronic Communications Act 36 of 2005, or ECA, and the Independent Communications Authority of South Africa Act 13 of 2000, or ICASA, regulate the electronic communications sector in South Africa. The ECA aims to promote universal access to electronic communication services, promote competition, and protect consumer rights. The ICASA is responsible for regulating the communications industry and enforcing compliance with the ECA. The Protection of Personal Information Act 4 of 2013, or POPIA, is another crucial piece of legislation in the scope of cyber law. POPIA regulates the processing of personal information in South Africa and gives effect to the right to privacy in the Constitution. The Act applies to all entities that process personal information and requires them to comply with certain principles for the processing of personal information. POPIA is important in cyber law as it provides a framework for the protection of personal information in the digital age. And finally, we have the Cybercrimes Act 19 of 2020, the newest member of the Cyberlaw family. It criminalizes a range of cyber-related offenses, including cyber fraud, cyber extortion, and cyberbullying. The Act also includes provisions for the protection of critical information infrastructure and sets out procedures for the investigation and prosecution of cybercrimes. The Cybercrimes Act is an important piece of legislation in the scope of cyber law as it provides a legal framework for combating cybercrime in South Africa. Thank you for watching thus far. If this was not a complete waste of your time, please give us a banging like, comment and share. We are also hosting a free virtual workshop on realizing intellectual property assets on social media. Please share the registration link with your content creator friends, social media influencers, entrepreneurs and everyone who might be interested. Otherwise, this is the Jurist Prudence channel. Forever your law buddy. Until God do us apart.